Big city railway stations and harbours rarely make for the most salubrious of places in much of Europe. It was no different until recently in Oslo, despite the wealth that Norway's oil reserves have brought to what is one of the most expensive cities in the world.
But all that has changed in recent years as Oslo has undergone something of a renaissance in the space between its train station and its waterfront. Previously a space much favoured by drug addicts and prostitutes, it's now home to this dazzling opera house, an architectural gem in a city previously bereft of them.
Regenerating the area has gone well beyond mere culture, with a series of high-rise offices and flats, known locally as the barcode buildings because of their appearance, popping up in the hitherto unhip Bjørvika district. And Oslo is just one of a number of European cities that are seeking to rejuvenate themselves through striking architecture. That includes one of this year's FT City Urban Ingenuity Award contenders, the Superkillen Park in Copenhagen. On the other side of Oslo's railway tracks lies Grønland, the city's melting pot where immigrants from all over the world live together. It is also one of the reasons why there's such a rapacious demand for new housing. Oslo's population is growing faster than any other city in Europe, with foreigners providing much of that growth. Newcomers may be attracted by Norway's high wages, but they find a problem shared with many European cities: a lack of housing, affordable or otherwise. There are plenty of building projects throughout the city, but demand is still outrunning supply, so prices are shooting up, making it tough for those at the bottom of the property ladder. Oslo's regeneration is also having some unusual knock-on effects. This is the current, rather inadequate home for the museum celebrating Norway's most famous painter, Edvard Munch, in one of Oslo's poorest districts, Tøyen. In the 150th year since his birth, politicians finally agreed to move the museum to the waterfront in Bjørvika.
The move was held up for years over left-wing worries about what it would mean here in Tøyen. But in the end, a package to regenerate this area popular with immigrants was agreed. The question is, will it prove to be as successful as it is at the waterfront?
It's a similar challenge across much of Europe, although few countries have the resources Norway has. How to balance the sometimes competing needs for regeneration, immigration, integration, housing and economic growth.
Oslo's own answer has been to emphasise upmarket developments by the sea, and the new Munch Museum should be in place just behind me by 2018, by which time this whole area should have been transformed. That's going to please the tourists, but the need for regeneration in the rest of Oslo and Europe will still remain.